Good evening everyone. Welcome to my Sunday night stamping, my virtual Sunday night stamping. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. I've just realised my grid paper's upside down. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Mine has been spent crafting all weekend, all day yesterday and all day today. So I feel very happy. I feel very content. As a team of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, we had a virtual event this weekend, not run by me, run by my upline Michelle last, which was just amazing. She put so much effort and thought and heart into it, and it really was just the most wonderful time. So, I've learnt lots, I feel quite inspired, and I've made a card, so I'm happy to share that with you this evening. I have used this Framed for You stamp set, which, to be honest, before yesterday, I don't think I'd really seen it in the catalogue, but I'm now completely in love with it. Okay. Oh, Sue, I've missed you too. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make this evening. So I've used the Bruno Bertucci's Scrappy strip technique, and I've just sort of changed it. I've seen this idea floating around with some other demonstrators. I think Emma Goddard did something a little while ago, and I've definitely seen it extended in this sort of way. So I can't claim credit for the Scrappy design, but I can claim credit for the way the card looks. This is a design by me. So we're going to get started, and we're going to start by cutting our card base. I'm just going to move a few things out of the way. So this card is pretty much made of a sheet of Whisper White and then some scrap for your stamping. Okay. So we are going to cut our card base, and we are going to cut a strip of cardstock that is 10.5 centimetres wide. So we're just going to line it up here in your trimmer. I'm just going to turn my notifications off 2 seconds. We're going to line it up in our trimmer, and we're going to cut. And then we're going to turn it round and score at 14.9 centimetres. Okay, fold, and we have our card base for this evening. Just moving my camera slightly, that's better. So it's a 10 fold card, so it stands like so, and we're going to add our detailing to it. So the next piece we need is actually going to be a centimetre smaller than that. So we're going to line it up at 13.9. to cut and turn this and line it up at 9.5 and cut. So that is 1 whole centimetre smaller than our card front, and we need 2 of those. So we're just going to cut this one down as well. So 13.9 by 10 centimetres. Okay, and we can get rid of those bits. So to start this technique, I'm actually going to start by cutting my piece in the middle. So I have a piece here of scrap DSP. It's the Subtles DSP, so it's got some lovely writing on one side, and on the other side it's got a lovely wood grain effect, but I want to use the writing. So we already have something that is angled like so. So we're going to cut the other side of it down to another angle. Now there is no measurement for this, it is all done by eye. So we're going to cut it into a random sort of diagonal shape, and this already measures 9.5 this already measures 9 centimetres wide. Okay, so we're going to pop that on there like so, and we're going to stick this down with some Tombow, which is running out after this weekend. I would get another one, but I don't have any more in stock until they arrive tomorrow. Okay, we might not be making a card if I can't get this glue to work. And this is embarrassing. We may have a blockage. Yeah, there's something in there. So just talk amongst yourselves while I unblock my glue. Dear, it's going to be one of those evenings, I feel, girls. I have a big old blockage in here. There's a little bit coming out, so we're just going to try and roll with this. How to do a live when your glue is playing up. Okay, so we now have that like so. Okay, so don't worry about this edge, we're going to cut that off in a moment. Okay, and then we are going to cut this down. So I want this to be, I'm not going to worry too much about the width, and I want this to be at an angle. So we're just going to cut this, and there is no right or wrong with this technique at all. We want to just make sure that it fits on like so. So let's give this a whirl. And then now we can add our glue. Oh, please work, Tombo. How can I be a demonstrator without any glue? This is the last one I have. Right. This is going to be fun, girls. So we're going from the thin side to the thick side. So we're just going to lay this on, and it will overlap. So don't worry too much about it. And then what's going to happen is we're going to trim that excess off. And then here I have a piece of smoky slate. So this is going to go on there like so. Oh dear, girls. At this rate I'll be borrowing Florence's Pritt stick. Aha, now we've got it pumping out, so this is great fun, isn't it? Oh dear. Right, I'm just going to scrape some of that off. Well, I aim to bring entertainment on a Sunday evening. Okay, so we now have our little strip that looks like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm bringing my trimmer back in. And I want to first of all cut this top edge off. 2 seconds, I'm just wiping the glue off my scissors. For those of you that are just joining, it's been great fun so far. I'm covered in glue. Okay, so now we have a straight-ish edge. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in our trimmer at 9 centimetres, and we're going to cut all these pieces off. Okay, and then this we're going to take down to 13.4. Oh, it does, Hilary, it really happens to me. 9 centimetres there. Okay, so what we have is we have something that looks like that. We get there in the end, guys, don't we? So we just need to make sure that we're mindful of the text being up the right way, which it is now. So now we can bring this back in, and we're going to pop that. We can either pop that on our card like so, and then like that, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on our card like that. Right, let's try the glue again. I'm going to use the glue on this little piece of scrap here. So let's turn that over. Okay. Right, so we have now the main part of our card done. So we can get rid of all these little scrappy pieces. This piece here is actually the piece that's going to go inside, but we're not going to stick that in yet because we're going to do some stamping on it. So now we just need to bring in a piece of scrap white. I'm just looking at what scraps I've got here. Let's have a little look. We don't want to use a piece that's too big. Okay. So never throw your scraps of white away because they come in so handy. So we actually need a piece. Look, more scraps. You can see I've been cutting lots of scalloped circles. So to start with, we are going to we're going to stamp even the main frame. Okay, so I've just mounted that onto an acrylic block. There's no right or wrong way for this. And I'm going to stamp this in smoky slate ink. Just do this. Actually, I'm going to put it's just ever so slightly wider than our ink pad. So if your stamp is bigger than your ink pad, always take your ink pad to your stamp. Okay. So just push down nice and firmly on there and lift. And we've got our nice wooden effect frame, like so, which we're then going to just cut out with leaving a thin border of white. So the border is probably about 4mm, if that, thickness. So again, this is all done by eye. And then this, I'm actually going to put this on this side, because if we put it this side, we don't really get a lot of the details. It's going over here, this side. So you can see I've just angled my strip ever so differently. Hi Jenny, thanks so much for joining. Hope you've had a nice weekend. I'm just grabbing my dimensionals. So I've got those. So I'm using the new large dimensional sheets. So these you can use to die cut from, but also if you've got a large area and you'd rather not use lots and lots of little dimensionals, all I'm doing is I'm cutting a bigger square from the dimensionals, sorry, from the foam adhesive sheet, and ta-da, just like that. You don't need to use hundreds of dimensionals, and it looks quite effective. Okay, so that's on there. So all I've done is I've overhung it to the edge of our scrappy piece, and then it's on dimensional, so it's got a nice bit of dimension there. And now we can move on to stamping all our other bits and pieces. So I'm going to use this little stamp here, little flower. I'm going to use this main flower, and then I've got 2 leaves. So the leaves I'm just going to pop on a block, and then I also need the sentiment from Tasteful Touches, and the sentiment we're using is just saying hello. How sweet is that? Right, so all of this I'm now going to stamp onto some more scrap because we're going to fussy cut it all out. So I've got some grey, smoky slate for my sentiment, just saying hello. I want some smoky slate leaves. So how many of those do I want roughly? I'll have 1 of those. I'll have 2 of these. Sounds like I'm ordering my dinner, doesn't it? And then we want to stamp the flowers in Petal Pink. So the Petal Pink colour comes from our Subtles range. It's a lovely, lovely colour. So we've got 1 of those. Oh, it's a bit light. That's better. I need to re-ink my ink pad, I think. And 1 of the large ones. So now we're just going to fussy cut around these. Here we go. So does anyone else have these stamp sets at all? These are relatively new ones. They're in the new main catalogue. It's been with us a month now. Can you believe that? Quickest month ever, I think. So I'm just working my scissors around my sentiment, giving a little border. Like so. Nice bit of therapeutic fussy cutting for a Sunday evening. Just what I need after a full-on weekend. So there's quite, I'm going to pop this onto our card front as well with a dimensional. So there's quite a lot of dimension on this card. But hey, you can never have too much, can you? I'm just making my scissors do the work, and I'm just turning my card. Okay, so this is going to go onto our frame. And where's my dimensionals? They are here. So let's pop one there and one there. So I want to overhang it slightly just so that that just goes over the edge of that frame like so. And then we just need to cut out our flowers and our leaves. So this is actually a distinctive stamp set, which means that there's texture detail built into the image, which looks lovely when you actually stamp. They also look great in any colour. And they're nice and fun to cut out as well. I'm just following my edges. All the way around. Be careful not to cut your petals off. So we have our little flower. Now to shape this, I'm just going to shape it with my finger so that I'm lifting the petals up. So that is going to get stuck down there, but we're not going to stick him on just yet. We're going to cut out some leaves. I make it look so easy. Trust me, Sarah, this is years and years and years of fussy cutting practice. I think a lot of it is just taking it nice and slow and trying to keep your scissors nice and still and just turning your paper. Okay, so now we have starting to come together with our layers. Where did my little flower go? Here he is. This reminds me of a 4-leaf clover, this one. Okay, so we have our 2 flowers And we need one more leaf, which is on here. So this is a little bit more fiddly to cut out. So I'm not actually going too far into the leaves. Okay, keep going, nearly there. Right, so we can now pop our card together. So let's just hope that this glue is going to play games. Yay, it is. It's coming out quite fast now. Oh, good. So we're going to pop our little flower on there like so, and pop our leaf in as well. So we'll have one in there like that, and then another like that. So just pop them, push them in until you feel them stick into the glue, and then our little flower is just going up here on that corner. Okay, so that is the front. We just need to pop a couple of little gems in there, and with those I am using the Pearl Basic Jewels. You can colour these with your Stampin' Blends, your alcohol markers, but I'm going to leave them in their organic form in the lovely pearl, the lovely white. Actually, we want a bigger one for that one. So these come in 3 different sizes in the pack, so you get big ones, medium ones and little ones. So great for when you've got different size flowers. Okay, so that is the front of our card done. We just need to do the inside. So for the inside I have a piece here, and it measures 9.5 by 13.9 centimetres, and I'm just going to do some stamping directly onto this. So I want a smoky slate ink pad for our leaves, and I want a petal pink ink pad for our flowers. So I'm going to add some detailing down this side like so. So I'm going to start with my larger image. Okay, and then I'm going to build up. So I tend to start with the largest image and then work my way down. Okay, so this is just some stamping down one side, and then add in a few more leaves. And where these are distinctive stamps, you do get a little bit of texture showing. And then to finish, we'll have some little flowers. Okay, so then that is our inside, our insert piece done. So all we need to do now is just pop that in. Just moving my stamps out of the way because they're not clean. This is going to go in there like so. Okey-dokey. And then stick that down. And then to finish off, we will have one little sentiment that says, "You are so special." And that we're going to stamp in basic grey. Like so. Okay, so there we have our finished card this evening. We have Just Saying Hello. We have used the Bruno Bertucci Scrappy strip technique to build up our card front. Background, I've used some DSP and I've used some cardstock. And then we've cut out some frames, some flowers and a sentiment, layered it all on. And then inside we have a little bit of stamping to match our flowers on the front. So that's me done for this evening and this week. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in, added comments and placed orders this week. I really do appreciate it. I'll be live here tomorrow at 12:30 for coffee and card, virtual coffee and card, and then again on Wednesday evening at 8:30 for my weekly card making session. All the details will be on my blog of this particular card probably in the next hour, and if you have any questions, please do let me know. I'm happy to help. If you are planning on placing an order through my online store, please use the Hostess code at the top of this post. You will get a stamp set sent to you for free in August if you spend between £25 and £149. So that's me done. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.